You eat these 4 seafoods? Here's why your joints still hurt. Have you ever wondered why your joints still ache, even when you try to eat healthy? Why your knees feel stiff, even after switching to fish instead of red meat? You've done everything right, but the pain remains. What if I told you the healthy seafood on your plate might be quietly aging you faster? It's not your fault. 97% of Americans over 60 have no idea that some popular seafoods, yes, even the ones doctors often recommend, are silently triggering inflammation, raising blood pressure, and worsening joint pain. The good news? Your body hasn't given up on you. It's still trying to heal, if only it had the right support. In this video, you'll discover 4 seafoods to gently step away from and 4 marine treasures your body is craving. And by the end, you'll know exactly what to eat to feel lighter, stronger, and more alive than you have in years. So if you're over 60 or love someone who is, stay with me. This may be the most important health shift you'll ever make. There's a quiet moment many of us face, but rarely speak of. That morning when you reach for the edge of the bed and your knees resist. That step down the porch that used to feel like nothing now comes with a careful breath. And yet you've tried. You've eaten right. You've swapped red meat for fish. You've followed the advice. But something's still not right. What if the problem isn't you, but the plate you trusted? For years, we were told seafood was our ally, a heart-healthy, brain-loving choice. But the truth is more complicated. Because after 60, your body doesn't ask for the same things it did at 40. Your digestion slows. Your liver filters differently. Your joints speak louder. And yet, much of what we call healthy hasn't adjusted to this truth. The result? Foods that once gave energy now leave you bloated. Seafood that once nourished now stiffens your fingers, clouds your thoughts, tightens your chest. Not because seafood is bad, but because your body is different. Still wise, still capable, but needing something gentler. And that's why we're here. This isn't a list of restrictions. It's an invitation to remember that food can be more than fuel. It can be forgiveness, a way to show your body you're still listening. In the next few minutes, we'll rediscover which seafoods truly love you back, and which ones are slowly stealing the comfort you deserve. But before we talk about what to remove, let's understand what your aging body truly needs now, and why that changes everything. Your body is still brilliant, still capable of healing, but it's no longer operating on the same settings as it did decades ago. The enzymes that once broke down heavy proteins with ease, they've slowed. The liver that once filtered cholesterol like clockwork, it now moves a bit more carefully. Your gut lining, once strong and resilient, now absorbs nutrients more slowly and lets in irritants more easily. This isn't failure, it's evolution. And just like you wouldn't wear the shoes from your 30s to walk in your 70s, you shouldn't expect the same seafood to nourish you in the same way. Shrimp, scallops, even squid, once celebrated for being lean and light, can now spike inflammation, strain your kidneys, or cloud your clarity. It's not that they became toxic, it's that you've changed, and no one told you how to eat for this new chapter. Most nutrition advice is still built for middle-aged bodies chasing weight loss. But if you're here, you're chasing something far more meaningful. Energy that lasts past noon. Joints that don't argue with your every step. A brain that stays clear and curious. To reach that, we need to relearn what truly supports us. And sometimes, that begins by knowing what to let go of. Gently, respectfully, not forever, not with fear, but with the kind of awareness that says, I love my body enough to listen to what it needs now. So let's begin there. By looking together at 4 types of seafood, your wiser body may be asking you to pause so it can start to heal. This is not a list of villains. These seafoods are not evil. They're not poison. In fact, they're delicious, nostalgic, and in many homes, including yours, they've likely been served with love. But for your body, your beautiful, aging, adapting body, they may now be working against you more than for you. Let's walk through them, one by one, gently. 1. Squid. A hidden trigger for joint pain and arterial stiffness. On paper, squid seems harmless. It's lean, it's high in protein. It's even considered elegant in Mediterranean diets. But under that clean white surface, squid holds a heavy secret. It's packed with cholesterol and purines. Just 3 ounces of cooked squid gives you more than 65% of your daily cholesterol allowance. And after 60, your liver doesn't regulate cholesterol like it once did. That means more cholesterol ends up in your bloodstream, raising the risk of arterial stiffness and heart events. Add to that the purines, compounds broken down into uric acid, and you're feeding the fire of inflammation. For seniors, that often means flare-ups in the joints, increased stiffness in the morning, and a greater risk of gout. It's not about fear. It's about recognizing that what once worked might now be quietly hurting your every step. 2. Imitation crab, a processed imposter masquerading as health. Imitation crab, or surimi, wears the mask of real seafood. It looks the part. It even smells like the ocean. But inside, it's fish scraps blended with starch, sugar, sodium, and additives. For seniors with blood sugar concerns, this matters deeply. A 2020 clinical study showed imitation crab causes a glycemic spike similar to white bread. That means if you're managing prediabetes, insulin resistance, or just trying to maintain steady energy, you're fighting an uphill battle every time this hits your plate. Worse, it's loaded with sodium and MSG, both of which strain aging kidneys, raise blood pressure, and contribute to brain fog and water retention. Imitation crab isn't just nutritionally empty, it's misleading. It takes up space in your meals where real nourishment could live. 3. Scallops, tiny treasures with a toxic secret. Scallops are beautiful, elegant, delicate, but beneath their creamy texture lies a heavy metal your body can't easily escape: cadmium. This toxic substance builds up in scallops as they filter their environment. And once cadmium enters your body, it stays. Seniors already experience slower kidney filtration. When cadmium piles up, it can damage your kidneys, raise blood pressure, and sap your energy without warning. Add to that the fact that scallops are low in omega-3s, offering none of the anti-inflammatory benefits of other shellfish, and you're left with a food that's beautiful, yes, but unhelpful, especially for a body that's asking you for repair. 4. Shrimp. A metabolic trap disguised as a light option. Shrimp is tricky. It's small. It's popular. It feels light. But don't let its size fool you. Shrimp is extremely high in cholesterol. Just one handful can push you to 180 millimoles. As arteries stiffen with age and your body struggles to regulate fats, this small indulgence becomes a big stressor. Worse still, Shrimp contains a tough protein called tropomyosin, a known allergen. Even if you've never had allergies before, seniors often develop new sensitivities as the immune system becomes more fragile. And here's something no one tells you. Even cleaned shrimp still contains chitin, shell fragments that irritate the gut lining, especially in sensitive or aging digestive systems. Finally, most shrimp today are farm-raised and may contain antibiotic residues banned in the US, but imported from overseas. These antibiotics mess with your gut microbiome, the very system that helps you absorb nutrients, fight illness, and even regulate mood. So while shrimp may look like a harmless appetizer, for aging bodies, it's a minefield. Breathe. This isn't about perfection. You're not expected to throw away your recipes, your culture, or your joy. But if you've been waking up stiff, or wondering why eating healthy hasn't made you feel better, this might be your answer. These foods are not banned, but they're better paused while your body recalibrates. Because sometimes healing isn't about adding more, it's about gently stepping away so you can finally feel the difference. But healing doesn't mean going hungry, because the sea also gives us gifts, marine foods that have been quietly waiting to help you feel strong again. Let's meet them. The sea doesn't just take, it also gives, quietly, patiently, and sometimes through the foods we've forgotten to see. In this part of life, healing often means remembering, not discovering. These aren't superfoods, they're soul foods. And for the aging body, they are gentle warriors, repairing tissue, easing pain, calming the gut, and renewing energy. And 4 healing marine gifts your body still craves. 1. Sea cucumber, gentle collagen for tired joints. Strange looking? Maybe. But inside that soft, slippery texture is a natural collagen matrix your body recognizes and uses. Sea cucumber is rich in chondroitin sulfate, the same compound found in high-end joint supplements. Only here, it's in a form your body absorbs with ease. Studies have shown that older adults who consumed sea cucumber regularly experienced a 35% reduction in joint pain and improved flexibility in just 12 weeks. But this isn't just about numbers. People who include it in soups or slow-simmered stews often report something else. A quiet return of comfort. Knees that don't pop. A back that lets you garden again. It doesn't scream results. It whispers them. 2. Green-lipped mussels, ocean's anti-inflammatory jewel. Native to New Zealand, these mussels are rich in a rare fatty acid called ETA, more potent than the common omega-3s. ETA works by blocking the enzyme that causes joint inflammation, making it ideal for aging hips, knees, and fingers. One 2020 study showed a 42% drop in joint discomfort and 35% improvement in movement among seniors who took green-lipped mussel extract. But eating the real thing, steamed with garlic and lemon, gives more than relief. It offers zinc, selenium, iron, and trace minerals that support thyroid health, immune strength, and even cognitive clarity. It's seafood that gives back. 3. Oysters, nature's multivitamin for the aging body. Zinc, B12, copper, selenium. These are not just buzzwords. They are the missing links behind brittle nails, thinning hair, slowed wound healing, mental fog, and oysters deliver all of them in a tiny, briny package your body instantly knows what to do with. Just 2 medium oysters provide over 100% of your zinc needs, a critical mineral that declines sharply with age. Low zinc in seniors is linked to poor immunity, taste changes, slow healing, and even memory dips. Add to that vitamin B12, essential for nerve protection and energy, and copper, which supports collagen formation and bone strength. And you have a food that's less of a snack and more of a biological tune-up. And yes, it pairs beautifully with lemon and gentle herbs. Eating well doesn't mean sacrificing joy. 4. Sea moss. Over 90 minerals in a spoonful of healing sea moss, also known as Irish moss, isn't seafood, it's sea vegetable. But for healing, it deserves a place of honor. Containing over 90 trace minerals, sea moss gives your body the raw material to produce collagen, strengthen your gut lining, soothe inflammation, and stabilize energy. It's rich in iodine for thyroid support, potassium for mood balance, sulfur and proline for skin and tissue repair. And for seniors with sensitive digestion, it forms a natural mucilage, a gel-like coating that calms the intestines, feeds good bacteria, and reduces bloating or discomfort. In a 2022 study, seniors who consumed sea moss gel daily reported 37% better joint mobility, 29% improvement in skin hydration, over 50% reduction in bloating, and all without pills. Just a spoonful a day in tea, smoothie, or soup is enough to start feeling different. A note before we move on. These aren't miracle foods. They won't erase years of pain overnight. But they are allies, gentle, reliable, science-backed tools to walk alongside you as your body begins to recover. You don't need to overhaul your entire kitchen. Just welcome one of these into your week. Let healing begin, not with fear, not with frustration, but with care. And now, let me show you what this looks like. Through the story of someone who didn't just change her meals, but changed her life, Grace didn't believe in miracles. She believed in routines. For 40 years, she woke at 6 a.m., walked her Beagle Max, and started the coffee before the sun fully rose. But somewhere in her early 70s, things changed. One morning, she couldn't bend down to tie her shoes. Her fingers throbbed when opening a jar. The worst part? It wasn't just the pain. It was the fear that maybe this was her new normal. Doctors gave her pills. Friends said, "It's just age." But Grace, she wasn't done gardening. She wasn't done dancing in the kitchen. She wasn't done being Grace. One evening, while sipping ginger tea and scrolling through her tablet, she stumbled on an article about sea cucumber and sea moss. Not miracle cures, just forgotten wisdom wrapped in nature. So she tried, slowly, quietly. A spoonful of sea moss gel in her morning tea. A Sunday soup simmered with rehydrated sea cucumber. A few green-lipped mussels steamed with herbs. No dramatic transformation. But 3 weeks later, she stood up without her usual groan. A month later, she lifted Max into the car without flinching. 2 months in, her skin looked less tired. Her steps sounded lighter. The biggest change? Her eyes. "I feel like me again," she whispered one night. Not a patient, not an old version. Me. Grace didn't just reverse her pain. She reclaimed herself, with a spoon, a bowl, and a quiet promise to never stop listening to what her body needed. Grace's story isn't rare. It's simply rarely told. And if something inside you is whispering, "I want that too," then let's begin, together, with a daily ritual that's gentle, nourishing, and made for this season of life. You don't need to change everything. Just begin gently. Grace didn't count calories. She didn't track macros. What she did was simple. She created a rhythm, a marine ritual that honored her body like an old friend. You can do it too. Starting today. Morning ritual. Wake the body kindly. Sea moss tea. 1 spoon of sea moss gel, stirred gently into warm, not boiling herbal tea. Sip slowly, ideally in sunlight. This awakens the gut, nourishes the thyroid, and gives your skin and joints the building blocks they've long craved. Mini bone broth with green-lipped mussels. Simmer 2 to 3 mussels in homemade or store-bought bone broth. Add ginger, garlic, or seaweed. This provides ETA omegas, zinc, collagen, and warmth that reaches your bones. Literally. Evening ritual. Soothe and rebuild. Healing soup with sea cucumber. Rehydrate sea cucumber overnight. Slice into tender pieces. Simmer slowly with carrots, mushrooms, goji berries, or rice. The gelatinous texture may feel new, but it's a sign. Real collagen is inside. This meal supports your joints as they repair overnight. Many say it helps them sleep deeper and wake up lighter. Optional additions, if you feel ready. 1 to 2 oysters a week for zinc and B12. Add kelp flakes to salads for iodine. Sprinkle turmeric or cinnamon for extra anti-inflammatory power. What matters most isn't the recipe, it's the ritual. The quiet moment when you say to your body, I hear you, I'm feeding you, not punishing you. That's how healing begins. Not in loud transformations, but in quiet daily trust. But what about the science? You deserve more than just stories and hope. Let's look at what modern research says about these foods, and how tradition was right all along. For centuries, grandmothers didn't need peer-reviewed papers. They knew what healed. They simmered broths slowly. They soaked roots. They added sea things to soups without ever naming the minerals. But now, science is catching up. Sea cucumber, a natural joint protector. A 2021 study in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences found that older adults taking sea cucumber extract showed 35% reduction in joint pain, improved range of motion, decreased markers of inflammation. Why? Because compounds like triterpene glycosides and chondroitin sulfate don't just reduce pain. They protect cartilage and help rebuild the cushion in our joints. Green-lipped mussels. More than omega-3. A clinical trial published in Nutrients 2020 revealed that seniors supplementing with green-lipped mussel extract experienced 42% drop in joint discomfort, 35% improvement in walking function, less morning stiffness, and improved physical independence ETA, the rare omega found in these mussels, was shown to block the enzyme 5-lipoxygenase, a major trigger of inflammation. Oysters, small shells, massive power. In a 2018 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers found seniors with higher zinc intake had stronger immune response, faster wound healing, and reduced respiratory infections. B12 from oysters helped maintain nerve health and mental clarity. Copper intake from seafood correlated with 18% lower risk of bone fractures. 1 tiny oyster delivers more absorbable nutrients than many pills combined. Sea moss, the forgotten gut healer. A 2022 paper in Marine Drugs documented that sea moss improved gut lining integrity, reduced markers of inflammation and oxidative stress, boosted populations of beneficial gut bacteria. In seniors, these changes were tied to better digestion, enhanced nutrient absorption, and even sharper mental focus. It also contains iodine, magnesium, sulfur, potassium, and collagen precursors, all vital for aging bodies. The takeaway is simple. The foods we just explored aren't trendy. They're timeless. backed not only by lab coats, but by generations of quiet wisdom. And now, as science steps in to validate tradition, let's take one last moment to return to something far older than medicine: your body's whisper. Long before pain, before the knees ached or the fingers stiffened, your body danced. It held children. It climbed stairs. It healed scrapes and heartbreaks alike. And though the years have added weight, wrinkles, and wear, your body has not forgotten how to heal. It still responds to kindness. It still softens with warmth. It still listens when you feed it love instead of punishment. Every joint has a memory. Every wrinkle holds a story. And today, when you choose a spoon of sea moss, a bowl of broth, or a quiet moment to nourish, you're not just feeding the body. You're honoring the life that body has carried. Healing doesn't always arrive with noise. Sometimes it comes in whispers, a breath that feels easier, a night of sleep that feels deeper, a walk that doesn't hurt as much. This isn't the end of your health. It's the next chapter, one written slowly, lovingly, and from the inside out. If this message touched something in you, don't let it stop here. Share this with someone you love. Your mother, your uncle, a friend who still believes pain is just part of aging. Let them know. Healing isn't a miracle. It's a memory waiting to be awakened. And if you'd like more stories like this, follow us. You're not alone on this journey. You're just getting started.